In this British miniseries, we join the Crawley family and their staff.
An aristocrat with no servants is as much use to the county as a glass hammer.
In the years surrounding World War I, they witnessed the great changes to their family and the world.
This is a war, and we must be in it together. High and low, rich and poor. There can be no special cases.
Join us for a retrospective and a look ahead to Season 4 of Downton Abbey.
Hi, I'm Leah.
Hello, I'm Liz.
And I'm Sean. And we're here to do a retrospective on Downton Abbey. We've all just seen it. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Okay, so Downton Abbey is created by Julian Fellowes, who is an Academy Award-winning screenwriter for Gosford Park. Julian Fellowes is involved in all of the stories throughout all of the seasons, and so he's very engaged in these stories, and there's some very brilliant or some very smart writing that happens with this show.
It's won numerous awards, of course, Golden Globes. It's won an Emmy for the Outstanding Miniseries, and Dame Maggie Smith has won 2 Emmys for Outstanding Performance.
It's the most critically acclaimed show of all time.
It's a Guinness World Record holder for how critically acclaimed it is.
And the show is set right after the sinking of the Titanic in Season 1, and by Season 3, we're in 1921.
One of the interesting things I think about what you just mentioned is the way that Julian Fellowes crafts entire seasons around historical events that we're already familiar with. So we open the first season with the sinking of the Titanic. We immediately know where we are in terms of history and time and who's involved and who's concerned, and I think that that's kind of clever. With Season 2, we have the same thing with the advent of World War I, or the Great War.
Right, well, Season 1 is fantastic. I love it more than anything ever, and I really enjoy it a lot.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I think Downton Abbey as a whole, the attraction to it is watching the couples form and the chemistry that they have.
Yes.
And Season 1, you have the most amount of chemistry between the actors, the romantic chemistry between all the actors, and romantic potential brewing at that point. So it's very exciting.
Do you realize this is the first time we've ever been alone?
Then you've forgotten when I pulled you into the conservatory at the Northbrooks. How sad.
No, I haven't. It's not quite the same with 20 chaperones hiding behind every fern.
Season 2, you have a little bit of a reduction in the chemistry between the actors, and it almost seems like we're starting to grasp at straws in terms of bringing in more extreme plot lines. And that starts in Season 2 and it extends far into the reaches of Season 3, where things get far too dramatic for my taste. But Season 2, you still have some adorable couplings in Anna and Mr. Bates.
Mother left me some money. Much more than I thought. Vera is a greedy woman. She won't refuse what I can offer her.
Will we have to leave Downton?
Not until we want to. I've spoken to his lordship, and he will find a cottage for us near the house.
What I find most compelling about the show is the kind of class struggle and the issues between the upstairs and the downstairs. I find it fascinating that this is what aristocrats do. They sit around all day long and plot and plan on how they can maintain their status and wealth. That's fascinating to me. And the servants are just as invested in maintaining those structures.
That was one of the things that I kind of loved about it, is it's not, Fellows could have fallen into this trap of saying, it's the upstairs and it's the downstairs, and we're just going to group them and they're just going to be 2 separate entities. And that's not the case. You have this Mosley character who you know, Matthew comes to live at the estate and he's like, I don't need to be pampered like this.
What?
And then someone has to basically tell him, well, it's kind of his livelihood too. He wants to do this. This is his job. This is his position in life, and you can't really take that away from him.
I agree.
You'll not be taking me with you, sir? Only I thought you'd be needing a proper valet once you're married.
I've always thought of you as more of a butler who helps out as a valet.
Dame Maggie Smith plays the Dowager Countess, Violet Crawley, who is Lord Grantham's mother, and she's just fantastic. If the role was not written for Maggie Smith, I would be kind of shocked, because it's like, can the casting get any better?
You gotta love her. I mean, who doesn't love a curmudgeon-y old broad who speaks her mind? She's been there, done that, seen it all. You just can't run any game on her, and she can run circles around you.
If we can show the county he can behave normally, they will soon lose interest in him. And I shall make sure he behaves normally, because I shall hold his hand on the radiator until he does.
What both Pride and Prejudice and Downton Abbey have, again, is this fantastic chemistry between the couples. Anna, Mr. Bates, Mary and Matthew, Sybil, and Tom.
The Catholic socialist.
I love him.
Still trying to get over that one.
Why was it you wanted to see me?
We've asked Molesley to look out Matthew's old morning coat. He's confident he can make it fit.
That's very kind, ladies. But you see, I don't approve of these costumes. I see them as the uniform of oppression, and I should be uncomfortable wearing them.
I have to say I'm a big fan of O'Brien, played by Siobhan Finneran. That woman is just evil, and she's just backstabbing and plotting. She actually has some complexity to her, and there are moments where we think that she really might be motivated out of genuine concern for the family that she works for.
Don't suppose the war will leave any of us alone by the time it's done. A letter from Thomas the other day. He writes that when he thinks about how things used to be, it seems like a dream.
One thing that didn't change, I would say, in all 3 seasons is the directing and the look of the show. It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a period film, a theatrical release, and the costumes are so gorgeous.
Oh, I love the fashions.
I know.
Like, what are they wearing now? Oh, that's lovely.
So as we go into season 4, how about some final thoughts on the first 3 seasons?
Though I'll continue watching, I can't help but be a little hesitant that I will enjoy season 4 as much as I've enjoyed season 1 and 2. Season 3 was a downfall for me, so I'm nervous. But I still love Downton Abbey.
I think that there are shows that they don't always have great seasons every season. And so I'm hooked on Downton Abbey, and I am willing to give season 3 a pass and see what they come up with season 4.
It's not necessarily a show skewed to the male perspective, but I still enjoy it, and I still think that it's basically classic storytelling. You can sometimes tell what's coming, but that doesn't mean they don't give it to you in a very satisfactory manner.
Agreed.
To Downton Abbey.
To Downton Abbey. Cheers.
Isn't it amazing that so far there hasn't been a character named Abby?
Have another drink.